pakikipagkaisa na maitaguyod ang pagsasahimpapawid ng mga programang nagsisilbing bintana ng katotohanan, pintuan ng mga kaalaman, at tulay tungo sa kaunlaran at kapayapaan. Nagpapasalamat rin kami sa National Customer's Choice Annual Awards para sa Outstanding Radio Station of the Year Award na ipinagkaloob nito sa Radyo Agila DCEC 1062. Ang karangalang ito ay para sa inyo, mga mahal naming taga-subaybay na nakasama namin sa himpapawid sa nakalipas na 55 taon. Maraming salamat po at congratulations, Radyo Agila. Mga bagong kaalaman sa siyensya at teknolohiya. Alamin sa programang Pinoy Scientist. Tuwing linggo, alas 5 ng hapon hanggang alas 6 ng gabi. Pinoy Scientist. KBP Best Science and Technology Radio Program. Pinoy Scientist. Dito sa Radyo Agila.
Magandang hapon sa lahat ng mga tagapakinig ng Radyo Agila. Ako pong inyong Pinoy Scientist, Dr. CUSTER. At kayo po ngayon ay nakikinig sa ika-6 na kabanata ng Pinoy Scientist, Art Science Radio. At ito po sa Art Science Radio ay mapapakinggan ninyo ang mga kakaibang storya at tambalan ng agham, teknolohiya, inobasyon, kultura at sining. At sinusuportahan din po ng Pinoy Scientist ang pagsulong ng STEAM education, STEAM, okay? Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Mathematics. At pinapakilala ko po ang co-host natin sa araw na ito ng Art Science Radio, si Dr. Corinne Romovilles. Isa po siyang art science expert ng Asian Institute of Management. Hello, Corinne!
Hi, Custer. It's good to see you again. I'm always, inspired to look into my my world of art science when I'm here in your show and when I see you, because you're so passionate about this whole new approach to learning. Thank you so much for being with us, everyone out there.
Ayan. At nakikita na rin po natin ngayon ng kaibigan po ni Dr. Corinne Romovilles, si Dr. Amanda Palilio. Hello!
Hello, can you hear me well?
Abby.
Oh, yes.
We can
Abby.
call her Doc Abby.
Doc Abby, ayan. And I really like her smile. It's so jolly, parang kasing parang sunlight, sunshine. Okay.
She's really like that.
Yes. Okay, sa episode po. Yes, Dr. Abby. Yan. Sa episode po ngayon, ang ating episode ay pinamagatang Art of Kapwa. Ayan, that's very interesting. When medicine and culture heals at the core. At ating tatalakayin ang konsepto nito na at ng pagiging kapwa. That's a unique Filipino core value or psychology, right, Dr. Colleen?
Yes. Well, it depends on how you're looking at it, because kapwa can also be tackled in the perspective of anthropology as popularized by Dr. Felipe
Landao-Cano, yes.
Psikolohiyang Filipino also discusses kapwa from a psychology perspective with Virgilio Enriquez, Dr. Enriquez.
So, why is it, Dr. Corinne, na napili mo ang topic or ang tema ng kapwa sa Art Science Radio? Because a lot of us know arts and science. What is kapwa and the arts? Ano ang iyong nakikitang mental image tungkol dito?
Yeah. Well, for one, I have a bias for this topic because I just completed a dissertation which I was preparing for to defend for 5 years. So since I finished my PhD with a dissertation on kapwa, the Filipino care for the sick. Actually, it's called paglingap, Filipino care for the sick. There was a lot of kapwa, concept that needed to
Yes.
be
Mhm.
elaborated in that dissertation. And it was kapwa is taken from the angle of medicine. I went to
Mhm.
that because I was looking at a case for Filipino branding. And I realized that the best way by which I can tackle Filipino culture in branding is when I look at the case of family medicine in the Philippines. Because to me, based on my research, uh, kapwa, if you're to use it in Filipino branding, is very powerful. And that power, when when you use that in branding, in the with branding as a method, to explore this Filipino culture. The best way by which to explore the concept of kapwa is through family medicine practice. I don't know where I got that, but I defended the dissertation and I passed. So basically that.
And I know you ang salitang paglinga, pakikipagkapwa, ang dami nitong iteration
Yes.
sa lengguwahe ng Pilipino, and that goes to show that it's really ingrained in our spirits and in being a Filipino. And that's a very interesting angle that we're going to talk about this afternoon. At bago po yan, gusto ko munang batiin kasi pakikipagkapwa, syempre pagbabati din ng greetings, right? ng birthday. And I'd like to greet my friend, Dr. Ryan Michael Odocado ng West Visayas State University. Isa siyang nurse and professor sa WVSU. Nagse-celebrate siya ng birthday. Nag-celebrate siya ng birthday kahapon at ang anak, ang daughter ng aking friend na si uh, Bam Gabriana, si Reese, she's celebrating her birthday today. And Reese happens to be one of the youngest men's sons. Okay, she has a really high IQ that's shooting off the ceiling,
Wow.
and she's celebrating her birthday today. So happy birthday,
Happy
Reese.
birthday. Happy
Uh,
birthday, very
may
talented.
nais kang batiin, Dr. Corinne, bago
Well,
tayo
I
mag-break?
guess for the three of us, we would like to meet our dads, no?
Oh,
Happy
yes.
Father's Day to all the fathers out there, including Custer's and Abby's and mine. I'm currently here in Laguna, Calamba, Laguna. We were looking at the House of Rizal, just came
No.
from church. Kapitbahay namin si Rizal. Nandun na yung mga chairs for the celebration on the 30th. Mm-hmm.
Wow. And magandang ng neighbor si Jose Rizal, if I may say so.
Masaya, masaya.
Sige, bago dumiretso na tayo mamaya sa topic, at bago po yan, magbe-break muna tayo at magkakaroon ng maiksing paghatid ng mga impormasyon at mensahe ang ating istasyon. So, ang time check po natin ngayon ay it's 7 minutes makalipang sa ang ikalima ng hapon, Philippine Standard Time. Magbabalik po ang Pinoy Scientist, Joking Alice.
EBC, Eagle Broadcasting Corporation. Ito ang Radyo Agila.
Ito ang dapat mong malaman. Ayon sa FIVOX, ang Pilipinas ay may 24 na aktibong bulkan at ito ang mga sumusunod. Mayon sa Albay, Taal sa Batangas, Canlaon sa Negros Oriental, Bulusan sa Sorsogon, Hibok-Hibok sa Camiguin, Pinatubo sa Zambales, Babuyan Claros sa Cagayan, Banahaw sa Quezon, Biliran sa Leyte, Budahos sa Sulu, Cabalyan sa Southern Leyte, Caguas sa Cagayan, Camiguin de Babuyanes sa Cagayan, Didicas sa Cagayan, Irayas sa Batanes, Iriga at Isarog sa Camarines Sur, Leonard Niesef sa Davao del Norte, Makaturing at Ragang sa Lanao del Sur, Matutom sa Cotabato, Musuan sa Bukidnon, Parker sa Mindanao at Smith sa Cagayan. Samantala, maituturi naman ang mga sumusunod na bulkan na pinakadelikado at ito ang mga sumusunod: Taal Volcano, Mayon Volcano, Mount Pinatubo, Mount Bulusan at Mount Canlaon.
Mga bagong kaalaman sa siyensya at teknolohiya. Alamin sa programang Pinoy Scientist. Tuwing linggo, alas 5 ng hapon hanggang alas 6 ng gabi. Pinoy Scientist, KBP Best Science and Technology Radio Program. Pinoy Scientist, dito sa Radyo Agila.
Magandang hapon po, tayo po ay nagbabalik sa Pinoy Scientist Art Science Radio. Dito lang po sa Radyo Agila. Ako po si Dr. Custer, ang inyong friendly neighborhood Pinoy Scientist. At kasama ko si...
Well, this is Dr. Corinne Romabiles, no, and we're here every third Sunday of the month, no, to explore this whole idea of art science. It's a very new approach to thinking. It's called art science thinking in my class at AIM. And Custer, it's good news because soon I will also explore this subject at the Asian Institute of, at the University of Asia and the Pacific. It's called, my course is called Methodologies in Design Thinking at the IT Department of UANP,
UNNPS, University of
Asia and the Pacific.
Asia and the Pacific. Ayun yung nasa lampas ng Makati, is that correct?
Yes, it's in Ortigas. It's in Ortigas. It's in Ortigas. Very good school because I came from that school.
I'm also very thankful, Dr. Corinne, na part din ako na naging estudyante mo sa art science. And today, kasama kami sa Innovation Olympics na nagaganap. This is an international competition ng mga brightest minds in business, and we're representing the Philippines. Ang team namin, so we were asked to make a name for our team. So, ang pangalan ng Team Philippines is Nagtala. Ayan. And because it's influenced mainly by your course that you need to really project your Filipino-ness, your Filipino branding as an innovator. And that's a really wonderful opportunity ng isang magandang oportunidad na ibabahagi mo ang art science sa mga estudyante na sana this will come up with inspire innovators to be the best and showcase what the Philippines got. Okay, so we'll start off. Dr. Abby.
Okay.
Ang nais
Yeah.
kong malaman muna kasi Dr. Abby's, I heard, is a community medicine or community doctor. So ano ang significance nito sa mga ating
I can introduce
yes, please.
First, no? Okay. And so that we know her background and also tell you more or less how we met. So Abby, since 2019, is a very young doctor. She's a general practitioner since 2019, but she is also into family and community medicine. No? And currently, she is the clinic physician at Barangay Magallanes, CUSTER, Barangay Magallanes in Makati City since 2020. Abby is also an assistant professor at the UERM College of Medicine since 2019. And during her college years in UP, she would dabble into Psikolohiyang Pilipino and Filipino anthropology when she was being mentored by Felipe Landa Hocano himself at the Asian Center. Welcome, Abby.
Yes, hello. Thank you. Thank you for the kind introduction.
My apologies, Doc Abby, hindi kita na-introduce. Na-excite lang kasi ako sa topic natin ngayon. And I was so amazed. You were under Dr. Landa Hocano?
I was under his son. Si Dr.
Oh, wow.
He already retired. He was living in his hometown already. But our advisor is Sir Bot, Sir Felipe, FPJ, Felipe P. Hocano Jr. So,
Okay.
Our advisor talaga. Very intense, the emphasis on kinship, all of those, and that one. So that was my undergrad, and then I went to med school.
So yung exposure sa sekulariyang Pilipino, let me uh, let me backtrack a bit. Siguro
Yeah.
yan din ang nag-influence sa iyo sa community medicine.
Yes, that is correct. I was looking
Tell us
for
about it. Oo.
yeah, I was looking for my a good undergrad for kasi medicine was really in the plans. Um,
Mm-mm.
my parents were both physicians. Pareho silang doktor. Tapos ako naman, nung high school, ang ano ko, ang forte ko or favorite subject ko, social science talaga. So I was aiming for psychology as an interest, but then ended up in anthropology because it was more interesting to me than psychology. And I finished it, and I like traveling also, so that's where I ended up. Now, what I like about anthropology basically is um, the living with people, the method which is participant observation. Nandun ka talaga na nakikipamuhay kapwa, kapwa-tao. Kaya siya ang tawag ang anthropology sa Tagalog talaga ay agham.
Agham tao. Oh, wow. Fantastic.
Okay. And well, with her smile, I can feel she's very empathic and compassionate person, si
Yeah.
Dr. Abby. Oo. Okay, so ano nga ba ito ulit yung community medicine? Kasi we've been exposed to a lot of different disciplines. Ano nga ba ang larangan na ito, at sa iyong palagay ay ano ang ambag nito sa practice dito sa Pilipinas?
Alright, so I've been asked quite a few times after, even during med school, ano bang specialty mo or anong gusto mong i-specialize? Di ba may OB, may pedia, merong neuro, pulmo surgery, ganyan.
At may
Um,
derma.
derma, yeah, plastics, yeah, all those. So, uh, those are specialties. But now, that's in the Philippines, it's specialized care. But there's also a niche for those who are community oriented. That's family medicine, which is also, similar to emergency medicine and also internal medicine. So, for community medicine in particular, basically your patient is your community. You see the big picture. You see the other things at play. Kasi syempre, for one single person, for example, me, um, I like good food. So, Filipino ako, mahilig sa rice. Um, stressed ako, mahilig sa, binge eat, pagdasakit. So, I have these exposures and that would predispose me to halimbawa, diabetes or high cholesterol. Ngayon, kung community medicine naman, big picture. Merong environment, meron kang mausok sa lugar. Kaya lahat ng maramihan ng mga tao doon, may asthma, o kaya um, farming community, mahirap makakuha ng livelihood. So, yun, medyo malalim, no? Pero, basically, makikita mo yung community picture. Hindi sa isang pasyente lang tinitingnan. You have community, and you see how different factors, social, economic, political, psychological factors play into their health.
Okay. Now I see
So
where
in a
the
way, before mag-follow up lang ako, Dr. Corinne.
Sure, go ahead.
In a way, it's a big picture perspective ng medicine, how a person interacts with society, and how society's uh, condition is reflected and manifested in health of the person. In a way, that's how I got yung definition ng community medicine. May tama ba yung aking pagkakaintindi na it's how the community and the
Oh, yeah.
environment manifests sa iyong sa iyong kalusugan.
Oo, basically hindi lang po siya sa isang tao. Makikita mo yung this community, itong grupo ng mga tao, karamihan sa kanila ito ang this is the situation in their community. It's a big picture. So, kumbaga, meron kaming tinatawag na community diagnosis. Imbis na diagnose ka ng isang pasyente na meron siyang meron kang isang tao mayroong diabetes, isang tao mayroong high blood. Itong community na to 6 out of 10 or 67% sa kanila, ganito, meron silang ganitong sakit. Bakit? Kasi ito yung diet nila, ito yung mga hanap buhay nila, gano'n. So, it's a bigger picture. It's a bigger kind of perspective when it comes to
Right.
tackling health.
Mm. Yes, Dr.
But
Corinne?
I think you got it. You have the, nandun yung concept of,
Now that we were talking about community medicine, now I was very curious about how significant this area of specialization is, considering that we are, a highly communitarian race, right? Because kapwa,
mhm,
I studied
mhm,
in anthropology, is can be best grasped when you are with the people that are cohesive. They tend to precisely group themselves together in a community, and that is
mhm.
very much palpable in Filipino communities. No, so can you describe the dynamics of yeah, like your practice in the Philippines? Now we are a highly communitarian society, and then
Okay.
you
All
are,
right. So,
yeah,
y- yeah. All
yeah,
right. Is the audio good still?
yeah, very good.
Okay. So, as you know, I practice in the barangay. So in Magallanes, it's in the city. I grew up there. Tapos, mm, mga patients, well, the constituents of Barangay Magallanes are there's a variety. No, there's differing socioeconomic classes. You also have, high middle low income um people and patients, so cater to them. And then from the young, well, very few some pediatric patients, and then para most are the adult population, and then the elderly population. Dynamics. You go to your primary now kasi it's we're gearing towards health for all, or the UHC. By 2030, supposedly each Filipino will have a primary care physician, a primary care provider. That's how it is in other countries. Now, where it was just signed into law. Now, ganito, for Makati, we're trying to do it already. But for like far flung area, yesterday, Doc Corinne, I was on a medical mission in Halahala, Rizal. It's like 2.5 hours of drive from Makati. So I was there, and yun andun ang community. It's very rare that they have consultations there, and are able to access a doctor. And that's just by parang Thursday I was in barangay, and then Saturday I was in far-flung area. So very very big difference. And that's how it is. The doctors, mostly we have a lot of doctors. I have 203 students, lots of graduates of medicine, lots of passers also. But they all are concentrated in urban areas. But out there, there's a lot of people in need of care. Our kapwa in need of care. So, well, in dynamics, we have doctors with the various program. We have very provincial centers. We have our rural health units in far-flung areas, and then din deploy ang mga doctors to the various from the government's program for health.
Yeah. So parang nakikita ko dito, parang you're somehow saying that there are, like the socio-economics of Filipino communities matter, no? In the way family medicine is administered. Parang,
Yeah, also politics. Politics kasi within the medical, even not political meaning the government, but political meaning within the medicine community, doctors, fellow doctors, colleagues. There's it's being discussed now. We just finished a meeting sa the annual convention of the APMC, or the Association of Philippine Medical Colleges. The topic was primary care, primary care, providing primary care. 'Di ba syempre the generation ahead of me, like my parents' generation, sila yung most went into specialty right away. That was the way talaga. And then very few went into the other, like academe and research. But now that we are seeing the need, and also, maybe because of the pandemic, there's like a greater need for generalists, primary care providers who right after medicine can see everyone and everything, like kids, adults, and can manage already, diba? So yun, and then yun nga, saka mo na i-refer sa specialized care.
yeah.
That's like a shifting thing now. That's the thing that's happening now, is we're moving from oh doc, I feel something, difficulty of breathing, refer na agad to pulmo. And the primary care provider or your community medicine doctor or family doctor will be the one to manage it. Kung kaya, di pauwi na. Then follow up ulit. Pero kung hindi kaya, then refer to specialty care.
Okay, Dr. Abby, I have I'll be asking later on Art, but before I ask that, yung sinabi mo na-mention mo kanina 2030 every Filipino can have access to a physician. Isn't that a
Mhm.
moonshot dream? Kasi right now we have
Mhm.
only 1.2 doctors per 1,000 Filipinos. Paano kaya masusolusyonan yung ganyang problema? I mean, I'm sure your heart is for everybody to really be guided and taken care of by a physician. Paano magagawa kaya yun?
Well, that's hindi may mga sparkle pa sa mata ng meron pang mga between. Pero ano siya, it's the dream, of course. Hindi naman masamang mangarap. Pero it was signed into law, and that's the vision. Kumbaga hindi mo siya pangarap, pero ano siya, yun yung target, yun yung
Policy.
aim natin. Yeah, by 2030, we have health for all and a doctor for every. I mean, the ideal, the WHO is 1 is to 1,000. One doctor to 1,000 people. Pero ngayon, medyo hindi gano'n. It's like 2 to 10,000 in Bicol, in Camarines Sur. So that's very, very far from the ideal. Well, we have the good news is, well, from what I see, we have lots of doctors in the College of Medicine where I teach. There's 1,000 students now, and we graduate about 300 every year. And more enrolling. The first year now are about 400, and that's just one medical school. And you can imagine how many medical schools are being built now, and getting accredited. So, super many, especially after the pandemic, saw that it's a noble profession, and
Yes, right.
fulfilling, even if it's not. Yeah, yeah. So that's, I'm hopeful na we have the future. And also nursing, medtech, other than medyo stable naman yung income nila, pandemic or not. It's also you have your extrinsic and intrinsic motivations to serve.
Yes. And syempre, cop- coupling that with digital technology, more and more doctors can reach yung mga kababayan natin na sa geographically isolated and
Mm.
disadvantaged areas. So,
Mm-mm.
now my question here is, ano yung art sa iyong practice ng community medicine, sa iyong pananaw? Ayan, that's a very interesting thing to ask.
Okay. Art, no, art. Maraming, definition ng art. We have a visual art, we have the literary arts, and we have and actually an art in general. Now, medicine, I think, this is just me. There's no reference or anything. But medicine is both a science and an art. Kung science lang siya, kung siyensya lang siya, it's just theory na parang alam mo yun, dekahon. So, ganito, ganyan. Ito yung sakit, ito yung gamot, gumaling ka, okay, hindi ka gumaling, gumawa tayo ng ibang paraan, parang ganun. Pero, may humanity eh. Yung ginagamot mo, your clients are humans, right? And it's, there's that case, itong case, this 68-year-old male with, a tumor. It's not just a 6-year-old, 8-year-old male with a tumor. He has a name, he has a family, he's a father, or a brother, or a husband. May tao dun. So that's something maybe we forget sometimes as doctors. And there is an art because you see the patient, you look him in the eye and touch him and call him by name, and yun ang nakikita kong art, just to give you a tip of the iceberg perspective. And talking to somebody, spending time with them, I guess it's also an art. It's learned, it's practice. That's why they call it a medical practice. Because it's a lifetime of practice. And that's how I view it.
Yeah.
And I would also, look at it as, well, I'll take it at literally meron ding art involvement, but mali din yung aking pagkakaintindi siguro, or iba, very traditional yung aking mindset on an application of art in medicine. But let me see, I think Dr. Corinne would have some questions to ask.
Yeah.
But bago magtanong si Dr. Corinne, it's ang oras po natin ngayon ay 31 minuto. Makalipas ang 5 ng hapon, Philippine Standard Time, magkakaroon muna tayo ng maiksing break. At wag po kayong aalis, pakinggan po natin at subaybayan natin ang talakayan tungkol sa art in community medicine. Magbabalik po ang Pinoy Scientist.
EBC, Eagle Broadcasting Corporation. Ito ang Radyo Agila. Sa kabila ng kampanya ng Bureau of Fire Protection, mataas pa rin ang bilang ng insidente ng sunog. Ayon sa record, nangunguna sa sanhi ng sunog ay ang problema sa electrical wirings. Sa Disaster Preparedness and First Aid Handbook ng Senate Committee on Climate Change, may mga tip na ibinigay kung paano makakaiwas sa sunog. Narito ang ilan: iwasang manigarilyo habang nasa kama. Alisin ang mga basura at flammable materials sa loob ng bahay dahil maaari itong pagmula ng sunog. Itago ang posporo o lighter para hindi mapaglaruan o maabot ng mga bata. Huwag na huwag itatapon ang upos ng sigarilyo sa basurahan. Gumamit ng ashtray kung hindi maiiwasang manigarilyo. Huwag ilagay ang kandila, oil o gas lamp malapit sa kurtina o mga bagay na madaling magliyab. Patayin ang nakasinding kandila bago matulog. Huwag magtago ng flammable materials tulad ng gasolina, alkohol at pintura sa loob ng bahay. Mas makabubuting may fire extinguisher sa bawat bahay at alam ng bawat miyembro ang tamang paggamit nito. Huwag iiwan ang niluluto lalo na kung may mantika sa kawali habang nagpiprito. Sakaling bigla itong magliyab dahil napabayaan, huwag bubuhusan ng tubig dahil lalaki lamang ang apoy. Sa halip, takpan ng basang-basahan ng kawali. Sunog ay iwasan. Buhay at ari-arian ay pangalagaan. Paalalang hatid mula sa Radyo Agila. Mga bagong kaalaman sa siyensya at teknolohiya. Alamin sa programang Pinoy Scientist. Tuwing linggo, alas 5 ng hapon hanggang alas 6 ng gabi. Pinoy Scientist. KBP Best Science and Technology Radio Program. Pinoy Scientist. Dito sa Radyo Agila.
the Neighborhood Pinoy Scientist. Sa mga kakatune in pa lang, ang paksa natin sa programa ngayon ay The Art of Kapwa When Medicine and Culture Heals at for Dr. Corinne.
Yes. Yeah, so some more follow-up questions no, about what we've tackled so far about what community medicine means. Now we have a better idea of what that is. And we were talking about why this is significant to Filipinos more and more. Community medicine, it's very inclusive. And so I think the World Health Organization had been rooting for this. No? For all nations. And I think during the time of Duterte, President Duterte, he already signed um, this mandate following the lead of World Health Organization of giving primary care to all the citizens. Okay, so the question is, eh, how can we um, like describe better what is happening in Kapwa, no? The art of um, you know dealing with other people in the practice of community medicine. Like um, this whole idea of healing, the art of healing. How does that become more special in our culture? Because we
Mm.
are communitarian. So parang it's part
Mm.
and parcel of that community uh, medicine practice. So can you explain to us a bit about that?
All right, I'll tell you a comparison or something I learned during the summer. I was in the States and I andun yung sa States, syempre marami tayong pinapadala na marami tayo, where Filipinos are all over, right? Filipinos. Um, I have relatives in the States. A lot of them are nurses and they are, you know, the best at it. I would say, arguably, we all already know, and this is already not only in the States, it's also in other countries in Europe. You can see or Filipinos in the hospital. You can see them in health, in care, in domestic care, and you're always gonna look for Filipino caregivers, care providers, because um, magaling tayo mag-alaga. Bakit? Because of that, this is the concept na yung pakikipagkapwa, yung ating mga Filipino concepts of um, damayan, um, sawang gawa. Those are the buzzwords for community and a sense of community both here and elsewhere, here and abroad, here and wherever a Filipino is abroad. So I have a cousin in the States. Two of them, I spoke with two of them. Both of them are nurses. One male, one female. The male one is in the pediatric ICU. He just finished. But yung female, she was a nursing student during the pandemic. So you can just imagine, so they will be the first in line and in the ER and in the ICU during that time na pandemic and everything was closed up. Not she's a Filipino, raised Filipino, but born in America. And just the level of care that she would give to a patient. She was she served as the grandchild who held the hand of the patient in the ICU. Kaya kaya siya art eh. Hindi siya yung basta you do your job and turn the patient, do the fluids and provide this is the doctor's orders, you carry out the orders. More than that, you provide care. You care for the patient, and there is an art to that. It's not just, kaya mayroong actually sa there's an art, there's an master of arts. No, that's you can delve more into that because it's overview. Now, yun lang, you need to see when you hear these stories about how she treated each patient that she can expected it without the and dramatic stories.
Sorry, Dr. Abby, hindi medyo
For
muffled
audio,
yung
no?
yung audio.
Oh,
What
yeah,
were
is
you
it
saying? Sorry, we didn't
Shopee?
capture what your last
Oh,
statement.
yeah. Oh, where was I?
Yes,
Is it
yeah,
better
yeah,
now?
yeah, now you're better. Parang naging
Yes.
muffled, Doc
Right.
Abby.
Oh,
Can you repeat
okay.
the last things that you said? We were not able to catch it.
Where did I leave off?
Yeah, it's something to do with you were talking the last few things that you said. We did not hear it.
Ah, yes. So just that, I was talking about my cousin, who was in the States, and yun, she was just telling me about how it was during the pandemic. Filipino kasi siya nga, no, nurse in the States, and it's different. It's not, I don't know if other culture, of other nurses or care providers or people na hindi Filipino will provide that level of care to their patients.
Yeah.
Kasi nga, we see patients as our kapwa, our kindred, our neighbor. So that's, yun ang kasi ang closest translation of kapwa. So yeah, that's the art of care.
Mhm.
That's how I see how it is.
Yeah. Yeah, now you're more audible. Earlier kasi medyo nawawala ka eh. No?
Oh yeah, I can go ahead and repeat what I said earlier. I went newer to the
better.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, the last one was better. Um, Actually, I was like looking at my own reference, no, for the definition of art, and my definition, it says it's the formal expression. Art is the formal expression of a conceived image or an imagined concept through a given medium. No, so based on our discussion, I was just like thinking that the Filipino has a way of formalizing care as an expression because people are able to recognize it immediately, universally, right? So parang
Mm.
masyadong pronounced or masyadong strong yung kanyang expression ng care such that it becomes formal. It's not just improvised. It's not just like a tap on the shoulder. No, it's something more than that. That's why it's formal. But it's a result of his also his artistry or being imaginative because 'di ba sinabi na nga kanina ni
Mm.
Abby
Mm.
na magaling tayong makipag kapwa, and so marami rin tayong paraan, no, pumaparaan tayo para makatulong sa iba, so
Yeah,
there's
yeah. I
the
see that. I see that. Just wanna share, make a something that went into my head while you were
That's a
saying
good
that.
point. That's a good point, Dr. Corina.
Mhm.
May follow up ako dyan. Yes, Dr. Abby.
yeah, Abby.
Yeah, yeah. That's the thing I was thinking about nung sinasabi ni yung gumagawa tayo ng paraan. Kasi I remember like during events, like Christmas, Easter, or Halloween, yung mga healthcare workers, kasi you know how it is in the hospitals, very gloomy and it's not a happy place, right? So but we try to provide the your healthcare team, your doctors and nurses, wear something nice and give something to the patients kasi mag-iisip talaga ng something creative. And then that's also a part of the art of caring kasi just to make their day and give them some semblance of normalcy and happiness and something extra. And that takes, something you think about it. And ano kayang pwede kong gawin? Ano kayang pwede kong create or design like something to make it make their day a little bit better because it's a special day. So that's also something just I want to share.
Correct. Yeah, yeah. Yes, Custer.
Speaking of formalizing care, kasi biglang na image na napasok image ng Japanese na 'di ba ang mga Japanese, they formalize the way they interact with one another, mga calligraphy nila, the green tea celebration, the geishas, the culture. And in that sense, pwede natin dalhin yan sa Filipino. We also have formalized the way we care sa ating mga kapwa. At itong pagpo-formalize ng care na ito has pervaded the practice of medicine. Tama ba yun? Dr. Corinne, what about that insight? Like a formalization of care of Filipinos vis-a-vis the Japanese formalization of niceties and elegance.
Yeah. Um, because I think in art, no, the medium used to create craft, the art, can also vary from artist to artist. Na yung ano ba, marble ba yan, wood ba yan, no? Kasi again, so the definition of art, that I use in my classes is the formal expression of an imagined idea through a given medium. So inisip ko sa ating mga Pilipino, iba rin yung ating mga ginagamit na mediums, no, in terms of expressing that care formally. Okay? It can be through community medicine, for example, as Abby practices it. Pero yung imagined concept, doon tumatakbo yung kapwa eh. Kasi pag talagang push comes to shove, nakakaisip yung Pilipino ng paraan para kunyari mabuhay yung tao. Kasi meron, di ba, Abby, parang isang beses we we were in one gathering, tapos sabi nung lady nurse who is based in London, there are Londoners who believe that if it's a Filipino taking care of them in the hospital, they will live longer. Can you imagine?
Yeah, they're in good hands. Kaya talagang in demand. Yun.
They're very imaginative. They're very creative. Do anything possible so that the patients will be happy.
Yeah, and alam nyo, this is, if I may, this is what it is. You see the patient as your own. Yun kasi yun eh. If kapwa mo siya, iniisip mo na malayo ako from where I am. This is just what I see, no? Filipino or a doctor abroad or a Filipino abroad or nurse abroad, where a healthcare worker, care provider, caregiver abroad. Alagaan ko siya na parang inaalaga ko ang pamilya ko. Kasi kapwa ko siya, ganun yun eh. So that's how the level of care that you would give to your husband, to your children, to your, diba, to your anak, binibigay nila yon. Filipino, they give it to the as if they're the nanny, right, or the caregiver of an elderly person. They give that level of care. They treat you as family. They go above and beyond.
Yeah. Parang kumbaga sa artistry or sa creativity, pumaparaan sila eh, no? Para lang talaga mabigay yung kailangang care, no? Miski na mahirap. Hindi kagaya nung, di ba, parang may mga iba na mahirap ito or ito mahirap, no? Yung Pilipino, dahil nakikita nga na yung kapwa niya, marami siyang pwedeng magawa. So there's where creativity works, and that's very much a part of Filipino anthropology na sinabi ni Felipe Landa no, na from halaga, asal, diwa, no, the levels of moral consciousness, no. So parang mahalaga itong kapwa ko. So may asal ako na parang parang kasama yung imagination doon eh. Yung asal ko ay parang ano bang tawag doon? Yung pumaparaan. Kasama yun doon sa asal niya.
Ingenuity,
ingenuity, his
innovation,
his innovation. Yeah, it's all part of that outlook, that attitude, to receive a problem, a great problem even, a problem to a great extent, because the value that he gives to that other is also very high. And it's very unique to
yes.
I think yung...
And nung mention na sa London na I will live longer kasi Filipino nag-aalaga sa akin.
Yes.
Kinalabutan talaga ako, Dr. Corinne and Dr. Abby, sa which is so
talaga.
true. Oo, it's so true. Totoo yan. And biglang naisip ko lang kasi ngayon, di ba, nag-evolve, okay? ang ugali, nag-iiba ang ugali ngayon ng mga kabataan. Do you think, Dr. Abby, yung mga millennials natin ay taglay pa rin yung ganyan na puso ng isang pagka-Pilipino, isang Filipino isang tao na mapagmahal, mapagkapwa sa ating mga kabataan? Do you think that that still exists now, and is it still strong?
It exists. I would say it exists. I'm part of the. I'm a millennial, and just yesterday I was with the tail end of millennials and Gen Z. Yung students ko kasi ngayon, doc, yeah, Gen Z sila. So
Gen Z,
buhay pa naman. I think that's the good news that I bring you today. Buhay pa naman. Buhay, buhay. We're trying
Kahit,
to inculcate that. We're trying to hone that and fan the flames among our youth to keep it alive. And I it's there. It's there. Buhay pa naman. And maybe not hindi siya all over because we still do have limitations in our country. It's still of course more rewarding financially in other places. That's why we have the brain drain, but um the need is great here. You don't have to look far to see people in need, and we're trying to show that to our students. So I guess the teachers play a big role in that. And not even in med school, kasi syempre not everybody will have, will reach med school. We also have limitations with regards to funding kasi med school is quite expensive, and also pero yun nga, in other schools will have scholarships, and we have so many smart and capable students who will be able to go into medicine and serve their fellow men here in the Philippines. So yeah,
I
buhay pa
have
naman.
Yeah.
I
Go
have
ahead.
a follow-up question
And
lang,
after
Dr.
you,
Abby.
sige.
When it comes to, it's a big thing ngayon yung silver economy, aging society. You think merong lugar ang ating pakikipagkapwa and the sense of kapwa among our physicians na maging isa ito sa mga differentiating factor of Philippine medicine amidst the silver economy and aging society.
Alam nyo, that's very Filipino kasi we have we take care of our grandparents. We don't it's not in our culture, to have these nursing homes and homes for the aged. We stay with that's the spirit of strong family ties among Filipinos. We live with our grandparents. Well, I myself was raised by my grandparents, and while my parents were in training, still working. Ganun din naman, where I work, I see yung mga bata ang sumasama sa kanila sa clinic yesterday, sa free clinic namin yesterday, yung lola eh. Dala niya yung kanyang dalawang apo. Kasi yung magulang eh, nagtatrabaho. So, yeah, and I see sometimes, if no studies are backing this, but I see in general that the elderly population live longer when they're with children. Kasi syempre you have that, you try to speak their language, you instead of not doing anything, not caring for someone, ganun din eh, yung parang extended yung parenthood mo. Yung pagiging lola, lolo, that also kind of extends your lifespan a little bit, and that's why
How
that's what
good
I
that is,
feel
no?
about
How
that.
good that is. I mean, you die youthful, no? Our lolas and lolas will die youthful and
And
hope.
happy, and yes.
Hope.
Dr. Green, maybe we only have 5 more minutes, so
Yeah.
maybe you can put as a synthesize itong ating napag-usapan ngayon
Yeah,
and
yeah.
contextualize it in
Yeah,
the area of
yeah.
art science.
Oh, yeah. I'm very happy with Abby here, who, as we as we heard, no, from her, that there is a lot of hope in our youth. She herself just graduated sometime 2019, and she opted to be in community and primary care. No, it's very hard for um, young doctors to actually readily choose this specialization because, diba, Abby, tama ba na, sabi nga, walang masyadong ano dyan, financial rewards, and it's really not so glamorous to be like a barangay doctor, community medicine. But now here we have an example of a young Filipina who would like to give this health service in a very inclusive way. As many people as possible should be cared for. Um, and yeah, so right now, we are already in episode 6 na pala of our Filipino Art Science program. And I realized that uh, the Filipinos who are in STEM, just like Abby here, we have this flair, no? We have this way of expressing ourselves with the heart. That's basically what I'm gathering here today, no? There's this art of um, of care, no? This way of showing also joy, I think, no? And I was just talking to my brother last night about the business of TikTok. And one of the reasons why people are heavily using TikTok is because they find joy in the use of the platform, and also access to content in um, in TikTok. And this is what I see also, no, Doc Custer, in our communication here in Pinoy art scientists, no? Pinoy art scientists. Yung mga nuggets of wisdom na nakukuha natin, yung mga maraming nasabi sa atin kanina si Abby about her struggle as a young uh, community medicine doctor, no? At saka inaano niya parang talagang I know because she's also a friend of mine, she really went through the training in kapwa, no? Para may cultural sense din yung science niya, no? And to me, we have to explore this more
Yes.
as professionals of whatever field, no? Where is my culture at work in what I do, whether I'm an engineer, whether I am a nuclear scientist like you, Custer, or a businessman, or I don't know, a homemaker, a
Yes.
baker, no? Where is the kapwa culture in your
And Dr. Corinne, I believe, naniniwala ako, Dr. Corinne, na isa ito sa ating branding and differentiation of Philippine medicine. So nagpapasalamat kami kay Dr. Abby
yeah.
sa pag-share ng iyong insights tungkol sa art of caring, pakikipagkapwa, at ani nga ni sino nga ba ito? Si Mark Hyman, the power of community to create health is